So how does Google determine local rankings? And by the way, guys, when I think of Google, I'm just going to be real here. I think of Google, we can replace Google with the big dumb robot. Okay? So a lot of things that I'm going to read here is going to be simplified, and it's going to be logical. It's going to make sense. I think sometimes we try to overcomplicate it. I think a lot of SEO specialists talk about the 200 ranking factors and try to pull the shades over your eyelids, when really there's some that just make a massive impact on their own. But really, this is straight from the horse's mouth. This is straight from Google. How Google determines local rankings. Relevance, how closely the query matches to what someone's searching for. Distance, everyone here, doing some work, checking some emails on their phone, right? Everyone's got the iPhone. We're all sentients. And then prominence. It's how well known you are. Prominence. That's content, that's links, that's reviews, that's prominence. The issue with rankings a lot of times is you have to do all three correct. If any of these fail, then you're going to be in trouble. So it's the intersection of that Venn diagram, the sweet spot of relevance, prominence, and distance. And I'm going to kind of jump into these, but I want to start with the one that I think is the most important out of the gate. Relevance. And I'm going to read this here. Relevance refers to how well a local business profile matches what someone is searching for. Remember what I said, the big dumb robot? I'm going to give you a perfect example. There's a lot of great firms in Michigan, but I just want to use this example. Which firm below is most relevant to the query Michigan auto accident lawyer? Michigan Auto Law auto accident attorneys, J. Trucks and Associates. We heard Chad Shelley talk about the firm name, and I agree. I think a short firm name is very important. It has to be memorable, right? If you start trying to remember more than a few words, it's exhausting. When it comes to Google, though, and your Google business profile, file a DBA. You can do business as another phrase related to your main brand name. In this example, Steve Gersten, he's got 575 reviews. J-Truck's got over 600. If it didn't come down to relevancy, J-Truck should rank. It's got more reviews, same review rating. But Michigan Auto Law, because it matches the query so much more closely, not only do they rank one time in the map pack for Michigan auto accident lawyers, they rank twice. So this is a huge problem when your firm is using multiple names, because just like a title tag, the names of your pages, it's constrained to a character limit. I'm sure many of you have seen Matthew Broderick all over the place dominating Google search because he's incorporating keywords into his name. Now, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. If you just stuff keywords in your name, that is against Google's guidelines. Strictly prohibited. However, you go file with the Secretary of State, file a DBA, have your paperwork, get some signage, maybe do a video for, re-verifying that profile, you're good to go. So that would be my number one tip. Simple tip, right? If you're not utilizing keywords in your name, that's simple. Go file, make the update, boom. The next one, Google is changing. We got all these LLMs, ChatGPT. It's sourcing information, and Google's become so big that it's very complicated to crawl the web and to understand what it's looking at. It's the big dumb robot, right? So there's a few things that you can do. The first thing when it comes to entity SEO, implement schema on your website. It's a markup. It'll help Google understand and categorize you. The next thing is to build relationships with your content. So in the past, it was all about keywords. Stuff a keyword on the page, get all these tools, Surfer, everything. It was all about keywords. Now it's about entities, relationships. I'm from St. Louis, near the area, so, Nelly, right? We got the Arch, Chuck Berry, St. Louis Cardinals. We heard Dan Morgan talk about, his NIL stuff. I think it's also having a benefit because it builds a relationship with those locations. Google's trying to counter AI content that's generic. How many times has what steps you need to take after a car accident have been written? 90 million times, right? How many of your competitors have a St. Louis car accident lawyer page if you're in St. Louis? Google has a big challenge. There's too much content. It doesn't even have the resources to crawl every single page. So you need to make it super simple for Google. Go back into your content and start to build these entities. That's why, and you're gonna hear it from me as an SEO specialist, you should all have an in-house writer, all of you. We can supplement, we can do the research, but you have unique knowledge of your neighborhoods and locations that will enhance your ability to rank. Now I'm gonna give you a cheat sheet. When it comes to entities and records, we had this leak from Google a while back, and I think Wikipedia was mentioned over 200 times. So if Google is referencing Wikipedia, we should be cognizant of it too. The cheat sheet, you go to Wikipedia, if you're trying to rank in Indianapolis, what's listed in Indianapolis? What's an entity that you can incorporate into your content? I'll take it a step further. You should become an entity. You should be a known quantity. I checked Wikipedia, Alexander Shannara, John Morgan, couple more, Ben Crump, that's it. What are the steps that you need to take? Do you have a high-profile case that's mentioned in Wikipedia? Awards? Have you written a book? If Google is using Wikipedia as a trusted source, it'd be pretty important to be in there. Your reviews. You've heard time in, time out how important reviews are. I can't remember the exact study. It was like 90% of consumers look at reviews in some capacity before making a hiring decision. They're looking at the good and the bad. We all do the sort. When we go to Amazon, we look at those one-star reviews to have a laugh and to see what the real problems are. But when it comes to relevancy, it's the words and phrases in the content. This slide's a little hard to read, but I'm gonna kind of paraphrase here. In this review specifically, it talks about the individual as a car accident lawyer, talks about legal services, talks about the location, and all of that builds relevancy around your business. It matches the query more closely. If you get a review and they say amazing, aside from maybe lifting your overall rating, that's not gonna do you any good. It is table stakes to have a 4.9 or higher. Table stakes. The game has changed. It's too competitive. And when it comes to relevancy, it's the words and phrases people are saying in their content.